Welcome back. The Chrono Odyssey beta has now ended, and I wanted to set the stage with a couple of comments from the YouTube channel. I released a video on the very first day of the beta, 7 hours of playing, saying I enjoyed it. It needs a lot more polish, but like the foundation of it I actually quite liked. And these are some of the responses we got. Let's just have a quick gander. Dang, bro, saying the exploration is good is wild to me. This game is garbage as it is right now. It would need a few more years before release. I played it. It's one of the most unpolished, underbaked MMOs I've played. It needs to be delayed to 2027 or something because it looked and felt horrible. The optimization is awful. The combat is janky. The camera feels janky. Movement felt very unpolished. The crafting and gathering isn't anything special. It's basically just a worse version of New World, which is impressive because New World has a lot of flaws. But I really don't see why anyone want to play this. I don't know if you've... This is a good one. I don't know if you've played a lot of MMOs or games in general, but I don't see how you could possibly think this is good in any sort of way. No, this is actually my very first game I've ever played. I definitely don't play games for a living and get paid to do so 8 hours a day. And I've been doing variety games for the last year rather than just Destiny. And we pretty much play a new game every single week, if not every single day. But no, sorry, that's not what I do. This is my very first game I've ever played. Yes. Bro, what's all the bros doing? Bro, if you really want to play an action combat-based MMORPG, play Black Desert Online. Black Desert or just Black Desert? It's centuries ahead of this. Okay. That's to set the scene. Now, I've put in about 23 hours into the beta, just at the end of the beta now, and I still stand by what I very first said, which is having a good time. Now, I think but I want to dive into the feedback. I want to start with an example from Dune Awakening first, and then I want to come back to this feedback. I made a video about Dune Awakening. I played it for a similar amount of time, about 20 hours during the beta, just solo by myself. And to be honest, I gave all the same feedback that a lot of other reviewers and gamers said, which is the combat was a little bit underwhelming. They did a pretty good job at making a desert interesting. The themes are good. The music was good. And I concluded with, it's kind of not for me. But the interesting thing was, my feedback was kind of the same, but I didn't like it. Now, literally all my friends are playing Dune Awakening right now. And it was part of me that was getting angry that they could like a game. I was like, the combat is so bad. How can you like this game? And it was a moment of reflection. I think this is a learning point here. Like, why do I care if they're having a good time in a game? Similarly to these commenters, why do you care so much if I had a good time in a game? Why are you getting so angry about this? Yam Gaming has left like 10 comments on the channel. Yam Gaming, Yam Gaming, Yam Gaming. Bro, go spend your time playing something you like instead. But it is kind of interesting when you hear people having fun in a game that you don't think's good and you don't like. And like, where does that come from? Well, I've been there too. I played Destiny for 10 years. And I can tell you in my case where the anger came from is I love Destiny and I wanted a first-person shooter and I wanted that to continue. And there's lots of good memories and nostalgia in Destiny. And every time I play something that's the Destiny killer and it's a loot and shooter and it's a first person or even third person, it's dog shit and it makes me angry. So maybe these gamers who have played a lot of MMOs over the years and are trying to chase that MMO replacements, maybe that's where some of it comes from. But the point of this sidetrack about Dune Awakening and Destiny is I don't disagree with the criticisms. I actually agree with a lot of these things. I probably just don't really agree with how they're delivered. I agree that the optimization is awful. And I did say that. I think the FPS is also very bad. I mean, it's part of optimization, but part of performance. Optimization and performance is awful. Some of the graphics in the game, specifically to do with the lighting, are not correct yet. I agree. The camera is janky. You get a lot of this thing happening where it like flips, and when you go to lock, especially like locking onto targets, it like flips around, and it does like a full 360 before getting to the target. it's also awkward to change between targets with it as well. And also, I don't think the camera's at the right height depending on the boss. Like sometimes I feel like it's just I think it's too far down. Like I'm always looking at the kneecaps. I almost need a little bit, go out and up a little bit. I think some of those MMOs do that, right? Like once you lock on, you get a slightly different perspective so you can see a little bit better. So there's definitely stuff to do with that. The movement felt unpolished, 100%. Lie on the ground and start crawling around. That animation does not feel finished yet. Crafting and gathering isn't special. Maybe special is not the right word. I think the crafting and gathering is very, very different from other MMOs, and it's actually why I liked it, because I was not having to cut down a bazillion trees to upgrade my gear. I had so much money, I could either buy it off other players on the markets, or I could just do bounties as a bounty board, and you just play the game and explore, and you can buy some materials from that. And to be honest, the only reason I had to do much crafting is because there's only a certain area in the beta. If I was able to go into the higher level areas, then I would have got more blue gear to drop or more purple gear to drop without even having to craft it. But the crafting is there, and they actually do something different with the crafting than other survival games or MMOs, is that it's not typical in you need steel to mine the next thing, titanium, and then you need titanium to mine crystal, and you need crystal to mine whatever, right? You actually can just mine everything, but it takes forever. So you can, I was just using like an uncommon pickaxe to mine the highest level stuff, but it just takes a long time. So it's just about efficiency. But if you wanted to be a hunter-gatherer and be efficient at it, you can like specialize in that and make sure you have the best gear and just go out and get that for you and your friends. I don't think it's like crazy unique, but I actually think it suits what they've created, which is, it feels much more like an open world experience. And someone said, oh, I didn't find the open world good. Well, I think that's very subjective. I think that the open world often rewarded me for exploring. There was something off in the distance. I went over there, something happened. I got a quest. I got a pop-up quest. I got, clearing enemies. And in some cases, like I'll see an alien monolith, and I didn't really know this is how it works yet. I was like, oh, I think it wants me to jump down this hole. I jumped down the hole, and guess what? There was a boss down there. Like, I actually always felt like the open world nature of this game rewarded me, and I really did enjoy that, and that's why I enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, then shock horror. When you watch reviews of games, you need to watch multiple reviewers because everyone's going to have their own subjective opinion on it. You don't just get one opinion and you start to buy a game. All right. I enjoyed the open worldness of it. People in my chat and community said, oh, I see what you're saying now. I went out of town trying to do a quest. I got sidetracked 6 times. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say to you. Like, I feel like it's quite dense. That being said, if I was skeptical, and this is usually what happens in like MMOs, it's very dense in the starting area because it feels like that gets the most love and attention early on in the game's development. And as you get further away, everything starts to get a little bit more sparse. But in general, I've enjoyed it. Now, when it comes to the combat, it feels janky because of the performance. But I think when you remove that and try to imagine the game actually performing how they intended to, I actually really, really enjoyed the synergy in the combat. And I'll show you some of that and I'll explain it as we go. Actually, at the end of this, I'm going to go into a dungeon. I've lost some of the people from chat to help me. I'll see if I can do a dungeon solo or some parts of the solo to really show why I like the combat. And they're the 2 real reasons. Is I felt like exploring was rewarding and the combat, I felt like there was different ways to play with the combat, and I really liked how that worked, and I'll show you some live gameplay footage of that. Now, I think everyone has their point, right, when they stop finding a game fun. For me, in Dune Awakening, the combat did not click for me, and that was enough to put me off. Now, if I was with friends, maybe that would have changed things, but the other parts of the survival aspect of Dune Awakening of just like go get lots of rocks and resources is not super appealing for me. I 100% understand if people say this game is trash, I didn't like it at all, because their line in the sand is performance. And like, they can't handle playing a game that's not performing well. And I think that's fine. It's fine to say like that. But as someone reviewing a game and giving my thoughts and opinions on it, I'm trying to separate aspects of the game that I think are actually good. And I think some of the foundations are actually good. I actually do like the combat. I actually do like how densely packed the open world is. I actually do like how I'm not forced into logging 1,000 trees to get an upgrade. I do like all of that. But I agree. If this game was in closed alpha and had another couple years in development, I'd be super hyped for it because it kind of feels like that's how much it needs. I am concerned that it is scheduled for release in Q4 of 2025 because it feels like it needs so much polishing and attention and performance improvements that it might not get there. And that worries me because I actually do like the basic core gameplay loop. I do like the idea of being in an open world, exploring, leveling up, and then going into dungeons with 3 friends and kicking a boss's butt. All right, I wanted to show you some live footage now of one of the dungeons in the beta. Firstly, see that big alien monolith? This is kind of the thing I was talking about with the exploration. Like, I just saw that in the distance. I went over there. I jumped down the giant hole, and there was a boss down there. I was like, that is cool. Yes, the boss was dog shit. Yes, the boss was janky. Probably my least favorite boss out of the whole thing. But I felt very rewarded for exploring. Okay, here's a dungeon here. Now, I just want to talk you through what I'm going for with my skills. So, I am a berserker. You can have 2 weapons equipped at the same time. I'm using chain blades, and I'm using my twin axes. And the combos that I'm doing is I'm using sweeping slash. And when this makes contact, it's going to give me bloodthirst. It also costs me health to use, to activate. And then bloodthirst gives me HP regeneration. Only 0.5, but it can stack up to 5 times. So when you're watching this, I am looking, my combos, I am looking to stack this 5 times, and it'll be down here in the center above my health bar, my rage bar. And I'm looking for it to get stacked to 5 times and to keep that stack at 5 by using my first ability and my second ability. Both these abilities do damage, but they also give me 1 stack of bloodthirst. And then when I get bloodthirst stacked to 5, I get a crit damage of 40%, which is nice because I've built my character. Oh, don't look at him. I've built my character into crit. All my gear has crit rate on it, giving me a crit chance of currently 49%. When I get purple gear, I can get that crit rate up even more. So yeah, we're trying to get 5 stacks of bloodthirst. Just got to give my health back. And then Ruthless is going to give me increased crit damage because I've got 5 stacks of bloodthirst. And then when I've got 5 stacks, if I'm good for health, I'm going to switch to twin axes. I'm going to use Clobber, which is going to add a headbutt and add bleed to my opponents. And then once they're bleeding, if I hit a crit hit, I'll get bleed, so I might just get bleed regardless, but I can guarantee to get bleed by doing a headbutt. And then this is my kind of like DPS with 5 stacks with bleed. This is going to start impacting the defense of the enemies. So reduces the defense by 6% for 7 seconds and stacks up to 5 times. Cool. So my basic combo is get 5 stacks of bloodthirst, then switch to my axes, headbutt them to get a bleed, and then DPS them. Now, if I get in trouble, the other thing I can do is my right click on my special move on these blades is I can consume my bloodthirst stacks to recover health. Right? So that's I don't know. This is just one combination of how I've been playing. Let's go into the dungeon. This is a 3-person dungeon. It tells you what your equipment score should be. Gives you your rewards. My camera's covering it up at the moment. And we can go in. Oh, I also have a super that I can use. And I also have a time freeze, which we'll probably use for these guys. So, you know what? I'm just going to time freeze them straight away. Time freeze them. Now, I've got to auto attack before I can use anything. So I'm just going to auto attack a little bit here. And then I'm gonna, okay, that's ability 1. All right, I've got 3 stacks. I got 4 stacks. Looking for the, I got 5, I'm on max stacks. I'm on max stacks. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna headbutts. And then clobber. Okay, I'm gonna back out. Okay, I've lost all my stacks. Back to the blades. I'm gonna auto attack to get up the rage I need to use my abilities. And he's dead. Okay, great. I'm on 3 stacks. I'm on 4 stacks. I'm on 5 stacks. I'm on my max stacks. Okay, I got another mastery point. So I got to keep this proc. So I'm going to run out of stacks here if I don't hit someone again. Keep the 5 stacks up. I'm pretty low on life. I'm going to roar. This is going to give my health back. Switch back to these. Now I can just... Oh! Okay, I need health. I apply bleed to those guys then because I have a chance to apply bleed with the axes. Yeah, I'm just gonna play it. I've got not much health here. I'll play it really slow here. Another stack of bloodthirst. Got 3 stacks. I'm gonna roar and consume my stacks to get health back. Here we go. I think the cool like gameplay loop of the Berserker is you're kind of, because your abilities take health, you're constantly just trying to keep your stacks up to give your health back, which I found really rewarding. There's a little mini boss here, and then we're going to finish the video. Little mini boss over this way. Oh, you got a barrel? Of course, you can have, you have a lot of food buffs. A lot of food even gives you like, not just like health regen, but you can like increase your crit rate with food as well. Alright, so this is the first mini boss in this area. Got 2 stacks. Got 3 stacks. I'm low on health. But if he doesn't runs away from me, I'm just not going to consume these yet. 4 stacks. I'm going to have to consume my stacks. Get my health back. Now I can do a summon. Now the summon is going to stun him, usually. I'm going to pop my master ability, which is like a super. And every punch I do, I get health back. It's currently stunned. Alright, so I'm at max health now, so this is great. He's freaking out. Got 2 stacks. Got 3 stacks. 4 stacks. And my max stacks. And my health is good. Gonna switch. Headbutt to apply bleeds. 1400. Huge damage. This is also debuffing him. Massive. Did he get some health back? So I want to get my bloodthirst back. I don't know what to tell you. That is actually really fun to me. I've just had a great time with it. If I separate how I like the combat, if I separate the exploration from all the performance issues, all the other polish that needs to go in this game, I see an incredible foundation with lots of potential. I'm just worried that they're not going to be able to put it into a better state before release, and that will hurt the game's longevity. There you go. And in the end of the day, who cares? It's a free beta, right? Free closed beta. I haven't paid anything for it. If it releases, guess what? Well, as a content creator, I'm going to buy it and potentially waste money, but you'll be able to come into the stream or watch YouTube videos and see if it's improved. And if it's not improved, you don't have to spend any money and you can just move on to something you like. Pretty easy, huh? All right, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.